Hey guys, it's Gary from S&G, and we're working on a Troy-built Pony lawnmower. I think it's from 2012, and just doing a full service on it, new belts, new tune-up on the engine, new battery. The customer had accidentally connected the battery backwards, so had to make sure that there was nothing wrong with the electrical system. Thankfully, this particular model, all it has is really that powers everything is just the headlights. But confirmed that the electrical system was okay, and he had told me that the starter motor was was weak, that it was having trouble turning the engine over when he was trying to start it. I thought that I can go ahead and adjust the valves up here, but and that's usually what happens after so long. These valves get the clearance between the valve and then the rocker arm here gets tighter, and then you want to have to adjust it so that the engine's running properly. But what I noticed was that a lot of these engines, these overhead valve engines, have a compression release mechanism inside the engine. When you're cranking the engine, there's a lot of compression that that piston's working against, that starter motor can't really spin the engine fast enough for it to start. So that compression release will work when it's first cranking, and then when it gets up to speed, then that mechanism will release. Well, that mechanism is not working on this engine, and here's the symptoms of when your compression release mechanism is not working properly. You'll see how when I crank the engine, you will see the engine crank, but then it will stop dead when it tries the compression stroke. You'll see the engine just stop. It has a hard time moving the engine there because there's so much pressure. This valve is not moving, so that there's a camshaft and then there's a crankshaft. The camshaft has that release mechanism. Something's wrong with that camshaft. So the next step here is to actually break down the motor, remove the motor from the tractor, flip it upside down, and take apart the block there and see exactly what the problem is. Now, normally, what I find with the compression release mechanisms is it's usually just lack of maintenance. Those usually will either wear, if you haven't changed your oil in a long time, that the lobe inside will wear down, or sometimes you just may get unlucky and there's a spring that's on that mechanism. It could break, it could fall off, whatever, and that's what's causing this kind of symptom. So we got this 17.5 horsepower motor here on the workbench. Taking a look at it, just pulled off the sump cover. And you can see inside here that it looks like the oil was not changed in a very, very long time. It's all crusty on the bottom. And I just took out the camshaft, and it's missing the compression release arm. And sure enough, looking inside the engine, and it's pretty dirty in here. I just drained out the oil, and if you look down there, see the arm? That's where it fell. So let's go ahead and fish it out of there and see what condition it's in. Okay, unfortunately, the compression release arm is damaged. I can't just simply put it back onto the camshaft, so the whole assembly here is going to have to be replaced. So this will be mounted onto here. It's missing the piece on the side here. There should be a shaft on this side, and then there should be a shaft on another one that goes inside the camshaft. I actually got to go in here and fish it out so that it doesn't rattle around in the engine when I put it back together.